Alright guys, let's see what we got. Play with the microphone a little bit, see what we got for sound. See how that sounds. Alright guys, so alright, what's going on this Sunday, April 29th, last Sunday of the month. Just gonna wait for people to join. We got going on here, got a variety of topics, some different stuff to talk about this live stream. And as always guys, if you want to talk about anything in the top chat, just post a question there. If you're watching this later after the fact, I guess spoiler warning for a lot of different things. I guess some Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and Avengers. If you've seen it, we're going to talk about a little bit of that because I've seen it on Friday, and it's pretty cool stuff. So what's going on, everybody? Hello, M King, Big Sexy, Tudor, Walking Dead 95, ACC, Boyd, everybody. Waiting for people to join a little bit. So hopefully you're joining this weekend, getting set for Fear the Walking Dead tonight. Yeah, I like it, M King. I rented it from Redbox. It's a 3-night rental, so I'm trying to play a lot of it and maybe beat it possibly. But I like God of War. It's a little frustrating at times with some of the difficulty of it. Some that's like it ramps up the difficulty kind of quick, and it's kind of cool. But it's a different God of War. I've been playing God of War since a little bit on Friday, mostly yesterday, and I'll play it a little bit today. So. And then I got to return it on there. So I'm excited for the God of War game to see how it ends and see how it sets up probably the next game and everything. So if you're a gamer and you're on Twitch or anything, you can give me a follow. It's the PT channel, all one word. I don't have many spoilers for Fear the Walking Dead tonight's episode because I've been just crazy with so much going on. Like it just kind of crept up on me with Avengers on Friday. Was pretty awesome. Going to talk about that. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't want to ruin anything for you. So if you haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, I would stop the chat or leave on there too, because we're going to talk about it a little bit, and it's pretty cool. I'm thinking that I know some things about Fear the Walking Dead. We had some big news since my last live stream last Sunday about Lauren Cohan and Maggie's contract, which is awesome. And it's debated whether it's a whole season, half a season, so many episodes, or exactly. So I'm not sure 100%, but the good news is that she signed for season 9, which a lot of people were worried about the character of Lauren Cohan portrayal of Maggie Rhee. Time jump, maybe not. Will she have minimal parts? Because now that we have the sanctuary going to be run by somebody new, Alexandria being rebuilt, the kingdom still around, and the hilltop, you got 4 communities trying to work together for screen time. So Maggie doesn't have to be in every episode. So she can be in a whole season, but only be on for 6 to 7 episodes. So we'll see how it goes with that. The Vultures, yeah, I don't know if that main guy is Mel, if he's the main person of the leader of them, or he's someone that's been sent out by their leader or not. So we'll see. I'm excited about the Vultures. It's kind of cool. It's kind of different for sure. Yeah, Mason, we'll talk about the Avengers, the way it ended, setting up the next movie, the movie post-credit scene. And what's up, Mega Dr. Dre? I thought it was great. If you haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, I don't want to ruin it for you at all because I'm excited to talk about it. And I made a video about it, and I still am. I wish I could see it again because there's so much in my head of like who's alive, who's gone, who's this, how it's going to set up, how is the ending, what's up with that. So yeah, exactly. Tudor, Walking Dead 95. That would be pretty much worst case scenario if Maggie the character died on screen. That would be terrible. I wouldn't like to see that. M King saw it twice. Nice. Yeah, I wish I could see it. I just been so crazy with house stuff and just there. I'm probably going to see it again and just to kind of absorb so much of it. The Easter eggs, the connections, where it's going for Avengers Infinity War. But as for Fear the Walking Dead tonight, I'm excited to see the continuation of the story from the Vultures, the time jumping around a little bit. Hopefully it calms down a little bit because it's then and now and then and now and a year ago and now. And Morgan is in the now and where they're at. And we're going to see, I want to see the Morgan-Nick interaction where Morgan puts Nick in his place with the bow staff and trips him and stuff. Pretty cool. I'm excited to see the future of that show. And it's kind of funny with the marketing and stuff on Instagram where they have a picture of like Morgan or and Althea or something like that too. And it's like game changer, Brandon Davis, comic book. Like that could be anybody saying that. Like I could make one that says like worst show ever, PT channel. Like I could put whatever I want and post it on Instagram for it. But I do think that Fear the Walking Dead has much improved. And I hope he sets up things really well. I think the best thing for Fear the Walking Dead would be for Madison to die. And that sounds terrible, but I would love to see that because I think Madison is a terrible leading character for the series. I equate it to it being the Lori Grimes. If Lori Grimes was leading a group, that would be kind of terrible. But I'm excited for it. How about you guys? The Walking Dead had some big news. They're going to start filming tomorrow. I'm excited. I think it's tomorrow or Tuesday. I've been trying to make videos in this and trying to do everything, but I believe that The Walking Dead Season 9 is either going to start filming this week or next week. It's one of the two, and most likely this week. More and more cast was seen at Nick and Norman's. I got a great picture from Nick and Norman's. I don't know if Norman took it or what in Sonoy, but you see a bunch of characters or a bunch of actors. You see the guy who plays Al. You see the guy who you see Denai Guerrera, Tara, Norman Reedus is there, Pollyanna McIntosh, Tom Payne, a bunch of people are there. And it's cool to see them there, especially it's cool that Lauren Cohan, Maggie is in the picture in the booth. So I'm thinking that's pretty awesome. So do I think Rick will die? I don't know. That would be kind of crazy if he died on the TV show. I think in the comic it's going to happen, and I think something big is going to happen in the comic issue 200. I think something big has to have that because they're like, oh, a milestone of 200 issues is a huge deal in the comic world. 100 issues is a huge deal, and 200 needs to be big. So it's either Rick or Negan die in the comic that issue of 200, and we're only in the late 170s right now, 180. We're coming up on pretty quick. And that'll be 20 issues from now, basically, it'll be issue 200 of The Walking Dead. And see what comes to the show. I love the show. I love the connections, what's there. And it's funny that The Walking Dead gets so much. I was thinking about this when I was doing yard work. You ever have one of those things where you just have a random thought? You could be in class or school or at work, and you're like, what about this? Light bulb just clicks in your head. Not sure why or what, but The Walking Dead is a comic book, right? Obviously. And we have comic book connections with the show when they do some things and some twists and turns. But you know what else is a comic book? All the Marvel movies. Every Marvel movie we've seen, Avengers Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, all those people are from comic books. And people aren't like, oh man, I wish there weren't the comics. And it's just crazy to think that the biggest movies as of late of the past, I don't know, forever, 20 years, 10 years, forever, are comic book movies, Marvel movies, right? Avengers Infinity War is from the comics. The Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos and Gamora and Guardians, they're all from the comics, and they're coming to the show and they bring things in there too. But The Walking Dead gets such a bad rap for being a comic book to the show. Like, the same thing is in the movies. And I was just thinking about it too. Like, I don't really read comic books about superheroes. I don't really read, X-Men and Superman and Batman and all this stuff and Iron Man and, Avengers and Fantastic Four and all that. But it's kind of crazy because it's just one of those things that we kind of know how stuff ends. And if you saw the Avengers Infinity War, it ends and a lot of people suck. A lot of people hated it. They said it sucked. And it's like, man, The Walking Dead kind of has some connections with comic book stuff too. Are they going to mix things up? I think that the Infinity War ending sets up the next movie and Captain Marvel. And that's kind of what they want you to be, setting up the next movie and the next phase of it. It's been 10 years since the first start of all this. of the Avengers took over the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man was 10 years ago. And they've come a long way, and everything connects. They do a great job with it. So I thought it was pretty awesome. But, yeah, Deadpool 2 does look awesome, Boyd. I'm excited to see that. There's a trailer for that, obviously, before the Avengers. And it looks pretty hilarious. Deadpool, thankfully, you know, Ryan Reynolds put up a fight and put up a stink about making Deadpool because it's revolutionizing things. It's rated R, but who really cares? There's adult themes and there's adult things in there too. And yeah, certain kids should not see it, but certain kids should not see other R-rated movies either, but they still see them. And Deadpool and everything with that is kind of hilarious. It's really hilarious, actually. So I'm excited for everything going forward with the news of Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, the Telltale games, the mobile game, the No Man's Land. Hopefully you're in the guild and you're tearing it up in there too. We got a lot of good things going on with the guild and the No Man's Land, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of exciting because I got Sasha yesterday in the game, and you're like, oh man, pretty cool. And if you follow me on Twitch, I've been playing God of War on PS4, and it's pretty cool. It's nice. The Thanos, I got Avengers on the brain. The Kratos storyline is pretty different in this video game. It's pretty cool, the differences of it. I love the other God of War games, and I'm in the part now where some things connect with the prior games and everything there too. So if you play video games or you're on Twitch or anything, we are at the PT channel, and I've been playing the game. I rented it from Redbox, which isn't bad. You can get a 3-night rental for $7 of a video game. I also watched Den of Thieves. If you don't know what Den of Thieves is, it's a kind of a robbery, kind of good guy, bad guy, cop drama movie where you're kind of watching people trying to steal from the reserve in Los Angeles. And it's cool because it's a different story. And I like Heat. And also there's a couple people in there. Cooper Andrews, who's in The Walking Dead as Jerry, is in there. Pretty cool when you see him, like, oh man, Jerry. And The Walking Dead has that effect, right? The Walking Dead has that effect of it being, where is that actor going after they're on the show or when they have a break or they have some things there too. And if you think about it too, like people are making a big deal about Denai Guerrera, the actress who plays Michonne, that she's Okoye in Avengers and Black Panther, and they're going to make a Black Panther sequel, and they're going to make another Avengers, and she's probably going to reprise that role a couple more times. But she wasn't really in the movie that long. She was in Black Panther a lot, which you got to give her that, so maybe they got to film that between the seasons and when they're off. But Avengers Infinity War, Michonne, Denai Guerrera, Okoye is not really in that very long if you think about it. There's the big battle of Wakanda, of course, but there's a lot of people on there that aren't really in there too. So if you checked out the PT channel, we made a video about 2 actors from The Walking Dead that were in the movie Avengers Infinity War. Obviously, Denai Guerrera was there. She was Okoye. Pretty obvious. You could see it. She doesn't have the dreadlocks, but she's still Denai Guerrera, and she's awesome. And she lived, which, you can't keep her down. She's awesome. But did you pick up the other one? It was kind of crazy to think about it because you didn't see him. You didn't notice it. There's no way you noticed that unless you knew ahead of time and you read the article or you knew that he was in it or he told you on there too. But when you saw Red Skull, which was like, man, that was crazy. And it's a different actor. And Ross Marquand can do impersonations, and I guess he kind of impersonated that voice a little bit of Red Skull, and he's in the movie, has credited that too. The other thing was pretty cool is that Peter Dinklage was in it, and he was like a giant dwarf, and it was kind of crazy. He's a little person in real life, and he's on Game of Thrones, and he's awesome. He's a great actor. I love him, and everything that he's in. I loved him in the X-Men movie and Game of Thrones, obviously, and the other movies that he's in, like Pixels and stuff. But Peter Dinklage is great. So I'm excited to see if they bring that character around. Probably not, because of Thor having his new hammer. But what did you think of all the deaths? I guess so-called deaths. You know, like, if you think about it, did everyone see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Because to me, I thought it was great. And they said that the Guardians will return. And in Avengers Infinity War, the Guardians of the Galaxy were wiped out. A lot of them, that was the biggest group of people that were wiped out. Did you notice that most people from the original Avengers were still alive? Coincidence? Maybe. And Doctor Strange, what he came up with, his idea to, well, I guess his plan to just give him the gem, and he saw one way that they actually win. And I'm sure it was that Thanos succeeds, and then he goes back and he feels terrible at what he did, and you know, his decision with Gamora and everything, which is probably the only way that Thanos actually reverses everything that he just did and brings back people and brings everyone back. Because if you disintegrated like that, how are you going to be brought back? It would have to be undone, the spell and the gem theory and connection to have to be done. It'd have to be reversed. And so we'll see how it goes down, but it connects with Captain Marvel, the extended post-credit scene, and that was the logo on the, I guess, whatever that was. Communicator, telecommunicator, texter, pager, old school pager. He was like, we're off the grid. We're using this pager there. He's like, we got to use this old school pager. But we'll see how it connects with everything. And yeah, we got to wait 6 months, just under 6 months for The Walking Dead to return. But a lot of stuff comes back and little things here and there. Like in July is Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll get the trailer for The Walking Dead, which is a big deal. That's a big deal because The Walking Dead goes off in April, and we got May and June. Not really much goes on besides their filming, and we will have a lot of videos for the filming. Then you have Comic-Con, where you get the trailers. And that's a big deal because if you get the trailer, you can see where they're at and what they're doing and who's going to be there too. I would hope that we would get a whisper connection and a little Easter egg of them. Be pretty cool. I think it'll happen in the trailer, and that's pretty cool. What the trailer for season 7 with Ezekiel was awesome when you saw Shiva's roar, and that was like big epic moments. And that's what the Walking Dead trailers are all about, and that's what trailers are in general too. Like, oh man, that looks great. I want to see that. Hopefully they do a good job with it, which I think they will. I think season 9 should be awesome. I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people are giving the show crap. Yeah, me too, Janet. I'm excited about the new showrunner, Angela Kang. But, you know, Gimple's going to be involved. He's the COO. He's the Chief Operating Officer. So he supersedes Angela Kang. And if he wants to say something or wants to do something, she has to make it happen. Not sure of the power trip and the power struggle and the power between them, but Angela Kang is a writer for the show since season 2. And she wrote or co-wrote and co-executive produced certain episodes. So we'll see how it goes for season 9. I'm excited for it. I love The Walking Dead. It's awesome because in October, I'll be going to Georgia for Walker Stalker Atlanta. And I'm excited for the fall. Football will be back. You know, Walking Dead will be coming back. It'll be getting cooler. And it'd be pretty awesome. So I'm excited for the future of the movies later this season. And we'll talk about that and a bunch more. I'll go for about an hour today. So I'll go for about another 40 minutes or so. But great question makes PRP Gaming Pro. Or Max. What do you think happened to Daniel in Fear the Walking Dead? That's a great question to bring up because I was going to talk about Daniel. A lot of people are saying, is he alive? Is he dead? He's got to be alive. He's on there too. If you think about it, in season 3 finale on the dam, he got shot in the face by Strand and he had this wound on there. And then he helped Nick get away. And then we don't know anything after that. We haven't seen him in the trailers, the promos, the pictures, anything. Is Daniel going to be seen? Worst case scenario, he's dead. We see flashbacks. We don't see it anymore. Sorry, MK. I guess I live in Florida, and it's 80s, 80s to mid-80s still here. It's getting hotter every day. It's going to be closer to 90 later this week. So I guess I got a little skewed by the temperature. But Daniel, I like Daniel. I would love for him to come back. I don't know how he could come back. Him and Strand, that would be a weird situation, a weird setup. But yeah, he could be dead. I think he dies. I think we see a flashback of him. I think Nick, we're going to see more and more flashbacks of then and now and then and now. And the then is going to be after the dam and in between the year of that to now. Hopefully it just makes sense and it's not too much jumping around. It could be too much jumping around for my liking. But I'm excited for tonight. It's been crazy because it was like Avengers on Friday. I've been playing God of War for like all weekend. I've been doing yard work. I've been doing a bunch of stuff and getting out everything set there. And it kind of crept up on me. I don't know too many spoilers tonight of Fear the Walking Dead. I know it's going to be with Morgan, Althea, and John, and Luciana, Strand, Nick, and Alicia. They're going to be going back to the trailers where Morgan's fight was, and they got to see this and there. And it's probably going to be a little tense between Nick and Morgan. And I know Morgan's like doing his form in the middle of the road and his leg wound. He's like, oh, my leg. And he drops his bow staff and he sees a car in the distance speeding down the road and he runs down the hill and hides in the SWAT truck. So we'll see probably a physical altercation with the person driving the truck and Morgan and fighting a little bit. So Morgan doesn't kill, and it's kind of corny. I don't like the kill everybody, save everybody. Kill everybody, save everybody. Have some middle ground, Morgan. Come to the conclusion that you have some middle ground, that you're going to keep some people alive where they pass some tests. How about the 3 questions? That would be pretty awesome if Morgan brought the 3 questions that Rick asked to, Fear the Walking Dead, and there's some crossover connection with that. And he's trying. I don't need him to kill everybody and be cray-cray, clear Morgie, and versus him saving everybody, and then it comes back around in that. So, I don't know, boy. Luciana's okay. I don't mind Luciana. I'll take Luciana over Madison any day of the week, but we'll see. That's what everybody says. SWAT truck is better than this. SWAT truck, even though SWAT truck is pretty awesome. We need more of that stuff there, and that's probably a big iconic thing of Fear the Walking Dead is the SWAT truck. Because if you think about it, I asked this question last time. What are the big things of Fear the Walking Dead? What are there? Madison doesn't have a weapon. Strand doesn't have a weapon. Neither does Nick or Alicia or anything. There's no big iconic things. And you think about The Walking Dead, boom, Lucille, Rick's gun, Colt Python, Daryl's crossbow, Michonne's katana. You can name Carol's knife, the sheriff hat of Carl. You could name so many different ones, and we need some more iconic things with that. And maybe we get that this season or not. But, yeah, that's true, Janet. Dwayne being gone, and that's kind of crazy to make him what it is. But it's kind of like it's so flipping on a light switch with Morgan, where he's like, I'm going to kill everybody. Nah, I'm going to save everybody. Aikido is my way of life. And then something switches on him when Benjamin dies and this happens, and then he's killing people that are on his side in the kingdom. And you're like, Morgan's a little nuts. And I understand that. He's torn between this. And it's good storytelling because what are we going to get? Is it going to be that? It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And it's just to keep us guessing and to change things up at a blink of a hat to see what happens with the character. But we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for Fear the Walking Dead. I'm also excited for The Walking Dead rewards, TWDrewards.com. Does anybody do that? Do you get the codes? Do you get save up points on there too? Last week's episode, they were supposed to put a code in the episode, and they didn't. And then the Talking Dead, which was after the Badlands, or into the Badlands, which I don't really watch, had a separate code on there too. And if you get enough points, you can get some cool stuff. You can get some shirts or this, or you can even go to the Talking Dead, get tickets for that. So I'm saving up my points to save up for something really good. I'm trying to get the points every week and watching those in the TWD rewards. So we post the code sometimes on the wall on Facebook on there too when we see them. But they didn't have a code last time, which was crazy. So, yeah, I don't know what happens, boy, with the Vultures and Madison. Because if it's in the now, we don't see Madison. And we're kind of like, what's up with that? What happened with that? Because you see Strand, Alicia, Luciana, Nick. They're trying to survive still. So living in a baseball stadium like that is pretty awesome. That would be an epic place to be, that's for sure. And I like the idea of being home base and connected with that. I like it. I think that too. So let's see, Morgan and, you're right, Big Zaxy. Morgan and Madison are supposed to work together to snap Nick out of his funk. Have you heard that? I haven't heard really anything, actually. I've been out of the loop for that, for sure. I know that something's going to have to kick Nick in the butt. It could be Morgan. Morgan has a way of doing that. And we'll see. Nick's got to turn it around, but he's having PTSD, and Morgan knows all about that. So why not help him? For sure. Ellis, do the codes thing work here in the UK? I think so. I mean, it's a digital thing. It's just a TWDrewards.com. So I'm not sure if it's blocked on the website or not, but you have to think about it too. Paulico, great question. How many people live at the stadium? I think it was 47 the last time Madison said it. And she said it to Naomi, who could be 48 if you stay on there too. So, yeah, I mean, if you build it up, though, M. King, you could build up the surroundings around the stadium. But, you know, what would be great is a football stadium or a legitimate baseball stadium. They're using, you know, a AA or AAA baseball stadium, which would be pretty cool to be actually be a part of that. But if you think about it, I mean, I bring some of that into there as well, into my book series. But, you know, certain structures, like a prison, like a school, like a thick concrete area, like a football stadium or a basketball indoor stadium is good for protection, but you can't grow things. You need outdoor soil. You need grass. You need something there. And a football stadium or outdoor baseball stadium is pretty cool for it. That's for sure. Hey, what's up, Brian? Hey, random thought here. Dr. Carson could still be alive. I don't think Dr. Carson's are alive. I think he got shot in the stomach and they left him there and he turned, and we might see. We could see a Dr. Carson in the midst of the Whispers. We could see an Eric in the herd of the Whispers. We could see a couple people that the bodies weren't taken care of. I think that we need to see some connections there too. And if the bodies were left there on purpose and you didn't see them die, we're going to see it again. That's the general rule in shows and movies. If you didn't see them die, there's a possibility for them to live. And the same thing with the Avengers movie. If you didn't see them die, if you didn't see them disintegrate or get taken out, they have a chance to come back. And I think with the Infinity Stones and the gems and the things there too, and the magic that can be done, you can undo all this stuff. And that's the world of the comics and the superheroes. You know, like Wolverine has died, and then the resurrection of him, and they're bringing him around back in the Cell comics. Or Superman died, and they bring him back, and they do something and bring him back on there too. So I have yet to see the Justice League, actually. I'm not a big DC fan besides Batman. I think Batman's pretty awesome. But I haven't seen Justice League. That was actually in Redbox, and I was thinking about picking it up. But I don't know if it's worth it on there. I might just wait to see if it's on HBO or one of those services that we have. Great question. Do you think Carol could die anytime because of the comics? I think the Carol comic connection is totally separate. Carol's comic role is nothing to do with Carol on the show. Totally different characters, way stronger, way better, way awesome. Melissa McBride is essential to The Walking Dead every season. She does a lot of things that you don't think about. She gets story roles and story arcs and stuff that connect the dots here and there. And Melissa McBride, I don't see her dying for a long, long time. She could get a comic death that happened, you know, within the past, I don't even know what issue that was, 20 issues recently. She can get a death like that, but that would be, you know, probably season 10 or 11 at the latest. At the earliest. Sorry. Wasn't Infinity War just advices? What do you mean, Rise? What do you mean, Mike? It's the war. I mean, it's the Thanos coming to kick everybody's butt, and he dominates. That's what it is. It's not too much of a war because Thanos really was pretty kicking butt for it too. So I'm sure I'm sure Infinity War has boatloads of deleted scenes, bonus content. I think they're going to sell, you know, 1 billion DVDs, Blu-rays, digital downloads for that stuff because people want to see how it connects everything there too. And since, which is awesome, I think I heard the word is that May 2019 is the next Avengers movie, so Avengers 4, which we only got to wait a year before that comes back. Usually it's 2 years. I know it sounds like a year, but it's kind of crazy that we only got to wait a year because I'm sure they filmed it back to back and to get everyone together for it too. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, sorry, Ellis. Yeah, I didn't know if the TWD rewards were just for the U.S. So that sucks. So yeah, they're probably going to branch out international with conventions and all that stuff too. I think that'd be pretty awesome. So I think that's the good way for it. Yeah, Carol is awesome, Janet. I agree. I think Carol's story arc from when she got banished and kicked out by Rick and then came back and saved everybody's butt at Terminus, and then with the wolves and the thing with the W and the bandana over the mouth, pretty awesome. So what you got, Tudor? I haven't really seen any of your comments. What you got? You think you think that Morgan's purpose will be to bring peace between the two groups? Are you meaning the two groups like the Vultures and Madison's group? Or, what are we talking about with that? Because the Vultures got to go. When you have villains and stuff like that, I don't want to keep people around. That's why I didn't really like the whole idea of keeping Negan around. But I don't think so. Tara to take Rosita comic death? Great question. Not sure. That's going to be a game changer when the Whispers come because they are bad news for the cast. They're going to clean house a little bit. We'll see who gets it. You know who could get it? Is Cal. I think Cal or something like that gets something like that. Yeah, I don't want to see the Vultures and the Madison's group, coexist. Kind of like the Saviors kind of thing, because they're like lazy saviors. It's like the Vultures is like the best way I've seen it, and people have said in the comments is like the Vultures are going to take your stuff but not do any effort, which is kind of crazy to think. Like they're pretty cocky and ballsy enough to just roll up in their buses and their trucks and their RVs and their cars and their U-Haul trucks and just park and then get a bunch of walkers and put it in there. And I guess that's kind of scary because they could just drive through it and then release all the walkers. But if you got guns and you got long-range stuff and you have baseballs that explode, you can defend yourself. And what's up, Jerry Lynn? You could defend yourself, and you should have been shooting at Mel and those people, or giving some warning shots. Just because they know how many guns you have doesn't mean anything. Okay, so I have 12 rifles and this handguns and this and that. It's still lethal to take you out. Like, I don't care that you know what I have. Try and stop me. Madison's like, we're not going anywhere. Well, what are you doing? Like, are you going to protect this place? Or are you just going to walk out there and then walk back in? And then Luciana's going to walk out and put a book down? Like, why wouldn't they just kidnap her or do something like that if they're going to use her for bait? Be like, all right, we're going to kill this girl unless you leave or you give your stuff, too. They could have done that. She just walked out all confident like it wasn't a big deal, which was like, come on now. Will we have Blacksmith storyline without Carl? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Carl because the whole Lydia-Carl Whisperer situation, that's what a lot of people are pissed about. The future of the show was supposed to be the Carl, that's for sure. But yeah, that's pretty cool. How excited are you? Less than 2 weeks, Nashville, here we come. We got our room at the nice, but yeah, we're staying downtown in Nashville, right by the convention center. I forget which hotel we booked, but it's pretty close. It's one of the Hilton chains because we have Hilton honors points. And I'm excited for Nashville. I've never been to Nashville. So if any of you guys have been to Nashville and you could tell me some things to do or where to go or what to do and, go to this bar or go to that. I'm not a big drinker. My wife and I aren't big drinkers. Alcohol is not really good for my Crohn's disease, so it's not really good to drink a lot. I can have a little bit here and there, but I don't recommend it. So, yeah, no, that's true, Janet. I do not like Madison. I'll be really excited for her to be killed off. I think that would do leaps and bounds for the show. I think if she goes out protecting Alicia and Nick and Luciana and whoever, I think that would be good for the show. I think that would be a step in the right direction for that. I'm just not a big fan of her lack of, facial expressions, and I'm never going to be, because if she magically does some great things and this too, it's going to seem phony to me. It's just going to seem fake. And I know she's all about her kids, and I understand that, being a mother and being a parent and being those things, it's important. And don't get me wrong, it's just something about Madison in the Walking Dead universe. I'm just not buying it. She's like this guidance counselor of a school who loves her kids that before the apocalypse weren't really there for them. You know, Nick was a drug addict, and this was terrible. And, you know, Alicia was doing her own thing and wasn't really being raised by them. And it didn't really do anything justice for me liking the character at all. And then Travis was trying to be there for and helped out, and then he died, and then she could care less almost. And you're like, wasn't that your love interest? That's kind of terrible. So, yeah, I'm excited. Big, sexy Nashville. Anywhere in particular? I know that it's, you know, country music, and hopefully we'll see some country music stars. Anywhere in particular that I gotta check it out? I'm hoping the Nashville should be a pretty awesome time. Hopefully, if you guys are there, definitely check out. I'll be on the. I don't even know if I'm going to see any celebrities or meet any celebrities. I was supposed to meet Stephen Yeun, who plays Glenn, or who played Glenn, and he had to leave, so he's not going to be at Nashville now, which sucked because that's a big purpose that I was going there. And more people are going to Orlando now. And I'm not going to Orlando. I'm going to Nashville and Atlanta. But Walker Stalker Orlando in August, more and more cast are going there. So I'm going to miss that. I think Denai Guerrera is coming to Tampa Bay Comic-Con. It's a smaller Comic-Con. I went a couple years ago. Norman Reedus was here for that. It's pretty cool. I'm thinking that I'm not going to go this year, but maybe down the road for sure. Do you think Herschel was born in season 9? I think so. I think Baby, Herschel, Glenn, whatever. I don't know if they're going to keep the same name in the show versus the comic. Baby Herschel is the baby name that Glenn and Maggie's baby is named by Maggie, of course. But is Maggie's baby going to be born? That's a lot of people want to know. I think with the possible 2-year time jump, she could have a 2-year-old, and we see a little boy walking around with Maggie at Hilltop. And I think we need to. People are asking all these questions about Maggie's baby, and now that she's signed on for season 9, we can have them being answered. And a lot of good stuff should be coming. She said a lot of big things are going to be happening for Maggie in season 9. Hopefully her and Gregory, that gets all settled. And who is the rightful leader of the Hilltop? You know, I think it'll be settled. So, yeah, I would rather have had Travis than Madison, but the actor who plays Travis is signed on for 2 movies of Avatar movies, so he had to go film those with Mr. Jim Cameron. So he's got to be there for a while filming the Avatar movie. So Travis didn't have time for that, so I think that's had to do with some of him being killed off. Why Alicia was acting like such a brat in the last episode. Alicia is a brat. I mean, it was kind of funny when she's there with Naomi and Madison. She's not even holding the gun right when you're walking around and trying to clear out the areas by the oil tankers. You're like, come on, get that gun up, and you know you've been in this apocalypse now for a while. You should know how to handle a gun and handle yourself with this rifle. But yeah, Alicia is kind of bratty. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think she's a better character on the show, but again, all these characters are replaceable in my eyes. And obviously, they're by bringing in Althea, Naomi, John, and Morgan, 4 major characters for season 4. That's a big time game changer for sure. So, bro, you guys should check out the Tin Roof in Nashville Brands food bar. It's cool. Is Tin Roof, is that a bar or is that like a restaurant or what is that, Jerry Lynn? I'll definitely check out. I need to know kind of where to go, where to not go. I'm excited for the Nashville, scenery. I was in Austin, Texas a couple years ago, and I loved it. It was awesome. There was a lot of, good bands and live music and bars and food trucks and stuff like there too. So I've never been to Nashville. We'll probably see as much as we can and then probably come back to it. But the convention's cool because we're there for the convention and then you can see Walker Stalker Nashville. But it'll be here in a couple weeks. and I'm excited for it. Pretty awesome stuff. So what do you guys want to talk about? Anything else? Post your comments below. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'll check out. I have to remember Tin Roof. Is it right downtown or something, Jerry Lynn? Is it one of those, with like a strip, like a downtown of a bunch of bars and everything, where you just walk around? You can run into a burger joint or something real fast. That'd be kind of cool. So, yeah. But I'm excited for tonight's episode, just because I don't know that much about it. And for the first time in a long time, I'm not really knowing too much about the episode tonight, besides, Morgan and Nick and them going back and stuff. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to play a little more God of War. I got to do some laundry and everything around the house and get the stuff together. And then I'll be trying to finish up God of War on Twitch at the PT channel. I'm trying to finish the game in my 3-night rental. So I'm playing it big time for it. Avengers, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend seeing it. I thought it was great. I talked to my dad yesterday, who was in the Bahamas this weekend, and he didn't want to talk to me about his trip in the Bahamas or anything like that, his little vacation. He was more worried about the movie. He's like, how was it? How was this movie? I'm like, I'm not going to say anything, but it sets up the next movie, and there's some good things, and it was pretty awesome for it too. So I'm excited for the Marvel movies, the rest of the movies too. We saw the Incredibles trailer, the Deadpool trailer, Jurassic World. I want to see those 3 movies, and then the X-Men movies in November, the Dark Phoenix, and probably that's it. I think I'm seeing 4 more movies later this year. If you haven't seen A Quiet Place, I told you that last live stream, I definitely recommend it. I liked it. It was pretty awesome. If you like John Krasinski, who played Jim on The Office, you'll like this movie a lot. I just feel like John Krasinski is like a regular cool guy that I could hang out with or meet. Pretty awesome. And he kind of carries that over into the movie. But A Quiet Place was pretty good. Cool. Yeah, no, Deadpool 2. I'm excited for Deadpool 2 for sure. Will Tobias ever return? That's a great question. Well, he was in Los Angeles, and the team, what if he's like a villain? What if he comes back and he's like older and he's got people on his side, and he kind of runs into Madison and he's like, I told you, Madison, the world was a bad place. And then boom, and takes her out. That would be great. That would be great if Tobias comes out of nowhere and takes down Madison or does something crazy and he's a villain on the show. That would be pretty great. I would love to see that. But I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. I think like the first season of it makes no sense and no connection at all to where we're at in The Fear the Walking Dead. I want to see Walker and I want to see Crazy Dog return. And I'm excited for them to possibly return on there. I want to see stuff connect. I want to see stuff come around. I want to see, eventually the full connection with The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. And I want the universe to make sense. And, if you've been up on the channel and the news lately, The Walking Dead is going to start filming season 9 either this week or next week. It's one of the two. I know they're back in session. They may be doing readings and a bunch of different things, but they might actually start filming in Sonoy at the Raleigh Studios and everything, possibly. And I think, yeah. That's exactly, Tudor. That's pretty funny if that's what she said, because he Madison took Tobias's knife in there too. Yeah, Daniel Salazar, I'm with you, Christina. I want him to come back too. Maybe he does come back, but I just see him as a flashback at the dam, and he dies, and Nick maybe finds his body because they say it for it too. So I'm not sure if the new Conjuring movie is this summer. I'm not sure. That's a great question, Jen. I've just known the main movies, the big time blockbusters that were coming out this year, and it's just so many movies that like last year I think I saw like 3 movies. I don't know if it was last year. It was Logan, Star Wars, and like one other movie. And this year I've already seen Black Panther, A Quiet Place, Avengers. I'm going to see Deadpool 2. I'm going to see Incredibles 2. I'm going to see Jurassic World 2. 2. And it's like crazy. I'm going to see like probably triple the amount of movies, double to triple the movies that I saw last year. And then, I like going to the movies. You got the leather seats now. You can pick your seat. You recline and relax. It's a nice date, nice out and about, and it's just nice. I want to see the movies. I hope it doesn't ever go away for sure. Shiva is alive. She hid it under the dumpster. Yeah, I wish Shiva was alive. I wish Shiva just went away. There's a couple things in The Walking Dead that I wish they changed for the better, because they stick to the comics to the T with some things, and then they switch things up majorly. Kind of when it benefits them, or how they can shoot it, or how they can produce it. Like Rick loses a hand in the comic, and people every season, is Rick going to lose a hand? Is Rick going to lose a hand? Is Rick going to lose a hand? Does Rick have something in his hand that by the tree? By my knowledge and what I've gathered from producers and production, they will never get rid of Rick's hands, because it's going to cost way too much money for the green screen and blue screen. He would have to wear a green glove or a blue glove and just digitally remove his hand every episode that would come into play. This isn't a multi-billion-dollar company where they're making movies on their two. They make 16 episodes a season. They're not making a 2.5-hour movie or a series or a sequence of trilogy of movies where they can do it. They're not going to get rid of that. They're not going to get rid of that. But I would love for Shiva to get away. I would love for Shane to left with Andrea and left the door open for that. So, no, I'm not going to watch Truth or Dare. That's just not my kind of thing. I don't really want to see Truth or Dare. I might watch The Purge, though, the first Purge on there, too. And if you saw Avengers Infinity War, did you see the trailer for Uncle Drew? Anybody like basketball? Anyone like Uncle Drew? That's a Pepsi campaign. That was Uncle Drew. It's Kyrie Irving as old man Uncle Drew. And it looks pretty hilarious when they're playing basketball at Rucker Park in New York, and they got the old timers like Shaq and everything. But it looks pretty funny. I thought I was cracking up in there too. I would like them to utilize walkers like Winslow for sure. That makes sense to do that. I think that's a good idea to weaponize your walkers, and that just makes sense for sure. I don't really like Forbes trashing The Walking Dead. I don't really like anyone being super, super, super critical of The Walking Dead, and I kind of think they are. I think Funny or Die is really critical of them. I mean, I'm critical of certain things of the show and I Fear the Walking Dead and everything, but The Walking Dead is, not perfect by any means, but it draws you in. And they make bad decisions and everything like that too. But overall, I love the series, and I'm going to watch the show. There's some things that I will never agree with, like the Carl death. It was incredibly stupid and made no sense to where they're at. But I think that there's certain things that they do really good, and I'm a Walking Dead fan for life. That's for sure. Andy Lincoln got a new haircut. I didn't notice anything there. I know he's probably going to have a different little look to him, possibly, in the time jump. Is Jadis in Alexandria now? I believe so. Well, Anne. I'm never going to get used to calling her Anne. She's always going to be Jadis for sure. You think Charlie could get Henry's Lydia? Could be Henry's Lydia? I hope not. I don't want to see the Whispers at all connected with Fear the Walking Dead. If it is, it's the initial little blah, 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 and then they leave. I don't want to see a big, huge storyline of it, because, again, it's then and now, and then and now, and then and now. So they're now the same kind of storyline. And in The Walking Dead, we're going to get even more of a time jump. So if the now is connected with Morgan and The Walking Dead, the same timeline, they're going to get more of a time jump for The Walking Dead. So that would be a huge time jump from a year or 2 years ago on Fear the Walking Dead to 2 to 3 years from that time jump on The Walking Dead. It's too much of a time jump for sure. Whose head do you predict will end up on the pikes with the head by the Whispers? That's a great question, and I think it's going to be a lot of comic book people that happen on there too. I think it makes sense for that to be certain characters. I think that the Whispers are going, when they come to town, they're going to be the cleaning house, taking things out people. and that's what the writers are going to decide who it is. And I could see it being like Cal and the major ones and the major characters that died. Will it be, Rosita, or be different? Could it be Tara? I think so. It could be. As long as it's not Jerry or characters like that, I'll be okay with it for sure. I don't want it to be anybody super, super big, but it could be like middle range. It could be Tara. It could be, what if Heath's on there? And they're like totally got rid of it. Because they got to answer that question with Heath and Sherry and Dwight and when they're coming back and the Whispers and who's going to run the Sanctuary and who's going to run there too. So what do you think of Alden? I like Alden. I like Al. I think he's going to be a person that connects and kind of calms Maggie down. I think that Al will always remind Maggie that that there are good saviors, that there are good people, that were your enemies, they could be assets to the group. And if Al builds a windmill and silos and runs an agricultural team and an engineering team and people grow, doing useful things that keep her people alive, I think Maggie will end up falling for Al, and there'll be a connection with that for her to. Nabila is a badass. I love Nabila. She's a minor character of the kingdom, but I just love the thing with Shiva, and she's like, I just pissed my pants. I just love it. I just love the way she looks, and I just love her on there too. It was pretty awesome too. So yeah, Alden could be the Dante on the show, and that's kind of cool. That would be kind of crazy if they brought Dante in. Like, how does it coexist? Just like they have a Daryl and a Dwight, and how does that exist for it too? But I am excited for tonight's episode of Fear the Walking Dead. I got to watch it and then get stuff together for the video tonight. And then we're going to start filming. We're going to have spoiler videos for the filming of The Walking Dead Season 9. They're coming around town, and you see who's there and at Nick and Norman's, which is pretty cool. If you've never been to Sonoy, it's about an hour outside of Atlanta. It's kind of southwest of Atlanta, and it's pretty awesome. It's not like a theme park or anything crazy where they have amusement rides and all these things, but they have a Woodbury shop, and they have filming sites, and they have tours, and Woodbury is right there, and then they have Alexandria, which is right there, and if you drive around a little bit, you can see some of the filming on yourself. You can see the stuff online, but Sonoy is pretty cool, and that's where they're getting more and more people to come in. Alexandria is going to look very, very different this season, with them building stuff and having plans to build windmills, and there are at least one windmill on there too. So if you've seen the big news in the videos that we posted, and once we get the news, guys, we post it to you. We let you know once we know. And sometimes I make a video in the morning, I get some news and stuff in the afternoon, and boom, I'm right here making a video right for you guys. And I like sharing the news for everything as well. If you're interested in the book series, book 7 will be out later this year, probably like August, September-ish, and then hopefully book 8 will be out by December is the game plan for it. You can be part of book 7 and book 8. Maybe book 8 if I gotta just work your character in for where the story is going on there too. But I know some people have been asking me about that. It's pretty cool stuff. I'm very excited about it. The way things are going, some major changes in the storyline and some twists and turns for what it is. But I'm excited for the Fight for Us book series. If you're liking the book series, give us a follow on Facebook, on Instagram, and at the PT channel. We post videos and pictures and stuff there all the time for it. But I'll go for about another 5 minutes, guys. So if you got a couple more questions, I'll answer them. And then I got to get going for my Sunday. Thoughts on Daryl breaking Rick's leg in a Negan argument? I don't think so. I don't think Daryl and Rick are going to fight again physically. They might disagree. And I want to see somebody say, like, Rick, I'm sorry about Carl. Because we still haven't seen that in Season 8. In Season 9, somebody better say that. And somebody better bring up Heath. They'll probably bring up Heath. Like, where's Heath been? I haven't seen Heath. Where's Heath been? He needs to be mentioned and then seen again. But I don't think Daryl and Rick get a physical altercation. And if you've seen the tweet by Norman Reedus, he said he's not going against Brother Rick. Everyone needs to chill. Maybe he's just doing, crowd control. Maybe he's getting a lot of messages. Maybe he's getting a lot of comments that are like, all right, people, I'm not doing that. Calm down with that here as well. I don't want to see Dwight and Sherry alpha and beta. I don't want to see that at all. But I could see them being connected with the Whispers. It makes sense on multiple levels. But Dwight and Sherry being alpha and beta would be a terrible writing. And hopefully Kirkman and Angela Kang do not do that. And Gimple and whatever. I hope that does not happen at all. Daryl to lead the militia. Not sure what's going to happen with Daryl, and I'm not sure who's going to run the Saviors at all. Is it Eugene? Is it Laura? Is it someone else? Is it someone that we haven't seen yet? Is Arat still alive? Is Regina still alive? I wouldn't mind, and I think it makes sense to have it be a woman leader of the Sanctuary. I think we'll see that at some point, if not in season 9 for sure. Do you think if Heath was in the Whisper, he would help the Whispers or Rick's group? That's a good question, because I don't think Heath has ever really been comfortable with Rick's group or liking Rick's group or liking the way of things. And he was an Alexandrian, and Alexandrian's in Rick's group, and he's been gone. He doesn't know how much Alexandria and Rick's group have really come together, like Scott and the smaller characters for it. So I don't know. I'm not sure if Heath would actually help them. If Heath comes around, I think it would be letting people know that the Whispers are around, that I don't think he would actually be a Whisperer for it. So where is Walker Simon? Did they put him down or still on the fence? If you saw the very end of the season 8 finale, when Tara and Rosita come in and they bring glass for the windows, I don't think so. I don't think the Walkers were there. I don't know if we'll ever see that again for sure. Yeah, no, I didn't see Arat either, Christina, in the finale. So she could still be alive. She's kind of a useless character besides season 7, when she was like, has this weird awkward pose with her gun and then yelled at everybody to walk in and start taking Alexandria over and take their stuff. So I don't know what's going to happen with Arat. The wives could be running the Saviors for sure. I think it's just going to be a multitude of people, but Rick's got to have people there that he trusts. So if it's Eugene, if it's Rosita, Tara, someone else there, you can't just have the Sanctuary be unattended with someone that you can trust to report back, because they could have an uprising. They could have people there plotting against you. Laura could be trying to plot against you for sure. They could just be looking for their moment. They were outgunned, so they surrendered. That doesn't mean they're Team Rick now. They could still be Team Negan. Could Eugene be the one visiting Negan in the jail every day? I don't know. I don't know where Eugene's going to be. Jadis could be visiting. It could be, I don't know if it would be Daryl if he's going to stay at the Hilltop. But Jadis makes the most sense because she's going to be supposedly be at Alexandria, and Morgan kind of set that up at the end of the season 8. So it could be Jadis doing that. But I'm excited for tonight, guys. I said it a bunch of times that I'm excited, but it's good to be excited for things too. And that's why I make goals and, vacations in the future and, little time away and the plans for the future, because it's things to look forward to. And, I'm excited for things for that, and hopefully you guys are to it. So, yeah, that's all right, Omar. Yeah, we go every Sunday at 1 o'clock. Well, I'll be going next Sunday, and then the following Sunday I'll be at the convention, so I won't be able to do that one. But I'll have one next Sunday for sure at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But, Omar, if you got any questions, go ahead and ask your questions. I'll stay a little bit later. I'll go a couple minutes over if you got on there for it. So I don't want to not answer anyone's questions, especially since, it's a little smaller crowd watching today. So if everyone's got, their questions answered and asked, that's what I'm here for to do. It's a Q&A, a fun thing, a discussion of The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Avengers a little bit for it. So, yeah, guys, have a good weekend if you're leaving me on here. But I want to go for a couple more minutes, but get your questions in. But, yeah, so I'll be watching the episode tonight, and then I'll probably do a review or something for it. And then I'm excited for the filming news. I love filming season of The Walking Dead because you get a lot of speculation to see who's there, who's not there, where are they at. So I don't think Daryl ever dies. Daryl is a big connection on the show. He sells a lot of things for the show, a lot of merchandise. Did you see the Hallmark pictures of Zombie Merle and Daryl Dixon, they have the ornaments that are coming out in October. I don't know who would put that Zombie Merle on their tree. Like, I could see having like a Rick or a Daryl or a Michonne, but why would you have a Zombie Merle on there? That'd be kind of crazy. What do you think it's best to do with Daryl? I don't know. I think Daryl is going to be an outlier because his whole hatred against Dwight should be kind of finished, right? I think that should be going. But Dwight's going to come back around, and we'll see what happens. I don't think Dwight and Daryl kill each other or that. I don't think that happens. Omar, what did you think about Infinity Wars? I thought it was great. Infinity War was a good time. I'm excited for the next movie. I didn't really like how it ended, but that's what has to happen for the next movie, to set up movie. When you buy comics or you watch superhero movies, it's not even about the movie you're watching. It's about the next movie or the next comic or the next story or the next, on to the next, on to the next. Set up this, set it up, set it up, set it up. And that's what they were doing with this movie. It's Infinity War. I'm not sure what Avengers 4 is going to be titled. I thought it was part 1 and part 2 initially, but they changed it to make it kind of 2 separate movies. So I think it's a pretty good setup for things. I like it. I thought it was great. I want to watch it again. I want to see how they do what they do for it. And I'm excited. What about Laura? I think she tries to lead a rebellion. She was on Negan's nuts. Yeah, I think so, Mike. That's what I'm saying. If Laura was the leader of the Sanctuary and the Saviors after that, and Rick doesn't have somebody there to watch over that, Laura could have an uprising to go against them, to go against Rick, and the Saviors might be another adversary that stick around. And they could. They definitely will. I think so, too. So do you think that Daryl knew where Sherry was when he told Dwight to go look for her? I don't think so. I think that Daryl just said that, take the truck and go look for your wife. And, go do that and just get out of here and don't bother us anymore and get away from me. Gregory's head on a pike. Well, Gregory's head on something, that's for sure. Well, kind of neck on something if you stick to the comics and you know what's up with that. I love Dwight. I want him back. Why does Daryl hate on Dwight? Obviously, you saw that Dwight was helping out. Well, that's a complex writing because initially Daryl and Dwight had their problems, and then Dwight and Sherry took his stuff. And so he ultimately has to pay for that. He probably never got that. And then Daryl was tortured by Dwight, but Dwight didn't let him out. Sherry let him out. So Sherry is the one to thank for that, not Dwight. And so Daryl was tortured by him. I'm not going to really like that for sure. And I can understand why Daryl probably won't let that go. And I don't bother. I don't fault him for that. But you kind of got to let him know when he was in the same prison jumpsuit as you, the sweatsuit, the A-shirt, the sweatshirt, definitely isn't good. So I think that was kind of crazy for it. So what could Sherry be in Magna's group? I don't know. That's a good thing. I don't know how Sherry's going to come back, if she's going to ever be introduced. But with the infinity sign, I think it's kind of she's with the Whispers. I think that makes the most sense. But we'll see. On that note, guys, I'm going to finish the live stream as we speak. Thank you all for joining me. I got to go get my Sunday going. Not Survival Sunday, which I wish it was. But hopefully you enjoyed the live stream. You'll be back next Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then the following week, I can't do it because I'll be at a convention in Nashville, which I'm excited for. But thank you guys for joining me. I truly appreciate it. You are awesome. And like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, guys, believe in yourself. If you can dream it, you can do it.